Africa is rich in history, and many of its countries have so many stories to tell. Some of these stories are so interesting that if they were told today, you wouldn't believe them. Today we will tell you the story of one of Egypt's most powerful women, a woman who was so powerful that even after her death, no female ruler dared to take the throne until centuries later. Hatshepsut, the wealthiest female ruler in history. Her name means foremost of praises, and she was indeed the most praised Egyptian queen in history. During her reign, Egypt prospered like never before. The once impoverished country became one of the richest in the world. She left a legacy that lasted for thousands of years, and even today people are amazed by her accomplishments. But how did she achieve all of this? Let's find out in today's episode. The early life of the queen. Hatshepsut was born in 1507 BC in the Egyptian city of Thebes. Her father was Thutmose I, the pharaoh of Egypt, and her mother was the beautiful and influential Queen Ahmose. Hatshepsut was the half-sister of Thutmose II since they shared the same father but different mothers. When Thutmose I died, Thutmose II ascended to the throne, while Hatshepsut married her half-brother. After their marriage, Hatshepsut gave birth to a stillborn son. This greatly upset the king because he desperately wanted an heir. A year later, Hatshepsut bore him another son, Thutmose III, who would be the last male heir of the 18th dynasty. Following the custom of the time, Thutmose II designated his son, who was only 6 years old, as the next pharaoh. Hatshepsut acted as regent during her stepson's minority, along with her own father-in-law, Senenmut, who served as grand architect of the works. Soon, however, Senenmut began to abuse his power, which angered Hatshepsut. To protect her son and influence the kingdom, she decided to remove Senenmut from office. Everyone opposed her decision, especially Thutmose II, who was furious with Hatshepsut for dismissing his father and stripping him of his powers. All of Egypt's officials turned against her, leaving her alone to fend for herself. At this point, Hatshepsut had two options: leave the kingdom and go into exile or declare herself pharaoh. Hatshepsut chose to defy her husband and usurp the throne. Usurpation of the throne. History has shown us that women who seize the throne are often seen as tyrants. Hatshepsut knew this very well, so she made sure to play her cards right. She promised Thutmose II that she would step down as regent as soon as their son came of age. She appeased the people of Thebes by building them a temple and making them wealthy. She also built a temple for her husband, which helped to immortalize his memory. Most importantly, she aligned herself with the royal priesthood, a group of men who controlled the country's economy and religious affairs. With the support of the priesthood, she declared herself pharaoh, much to the chagrin of Thutmose II. He was furious and tried to fight back, but it was too late. Hatshepsut had already gained the upper hand. She locked Thutmose II in the palace and never let him out again. Thutmose II died in 1492 BC, 13 years before Hatshepsut's death. Only 2 years after she took over as pharaoh, Hatshepsut embarked on an ambitious building project to honor the gods of Egypt. She built temples, monuments, and obelisks all over the country. These projects required massive amounts of manpower, so she employed tens of thousands of people. She paid them well and treated them fairly, which made her very popular among the masses. As a result, the Egyptian economy boomed during her reign. Trade routes were established throughout Africa and the Middle East, bringing great wealth to Egypt. The treasury overflowed with gold, silver, and precious stones. Foreign expeditions. While Hatshepsut was expanding her empire, she also waged war on neighboring kingdoms. In one of her most famous battles, she led an army of 30,000 soldiers against the Nubian kingdom of Kush. The Egyptians won a decisive victory and captured the Kushite king. Hatshepsut then marched on to the Red Sea coast and seized control of the important trading cities of Elath and Aqaba. She also campaigned in Syria and Palestine, where she defeated the Canaanite king and captured the city of Jerusalem. These victories made Hatshepsut the most powerful female ruler in history. During her reign, Egypt reached its greatest territorial extent. Legacy of a great queen. Hatshepsut's reign was not without its challenges. Toward the end of her life, she faced a rebellion led by her stepson, Thutmose III. Hatshepsut put down the rebellion and executed Thutmose III's wife, but she spared Thutmose III's life. In fact, she designated him as her successor, which enraged the Egyptian people. They were outraged by Hatshepsut's decision and blamed her for choosing a weak leader. Despite this, Hatshepsut remained defiant until her death in 1458 BC. After Hatshepsut's death, Thutmose III took the throne and he proved to be a capable ruler. However, he is best remembered for his hatred toward his stepmother. In an attempt to erase Hatshepsut's legacy, he ordered that her statues be defaced and her name removed from official records. He also tried to discredit her by claiming that she was illegitimate. Despite these efforts, Hatshepsut's legacy lived on. The Egyptian people continued to revere her as a great queen, and her tomb remained one of the most popular tourist destinations in Egypt. In recent years, Hatshepsut has been the subject of much debate among historians. Some argue that she was a ruthless tyrant who murdered her way to the throne. Others claim that she was a benevolent ruler who brought prosperity to Egypt. The truth is likely somewhere in between. Hatshepsut was a strong-willed woman who was willing to do whatever it took to protect her son and her country. She was also a shrewd politician who knew how to manipulate the people around her. There is no doubt that she was a skilled ruler who left a lasting impact on Egypt. However, she was also responsible for some terrible deeds, such as the murder of Thutmose II and the enslavement of Nubia. Ultimately, Hatshepsut was a complex figure whose legacy is both fascinating and disturbing. The discovery of the Queen's tomb. In 1870, a British engineer named Howard Weiss discovered the entrance to the Queen's tomb. However, he didn't realize that it led to the burial chamber of Hatshepsut. Instead, he explored the nearby temple of Deir el-Bahari and found the mortuary temple of a man named Thutmose III. He identified the remains inside the tomb as those of Thutmose III and assumed that the other chambers belonged to his predecessors. It wasn't until 1903 that a team of archaeologists led by Edward R. Ayrton uncovered Hatshepsut's mummy. The discovery was made during excavations at the Theban necropolis, an ancient Egyptian burial ground located on the west bank of the Nile River opposite the city of Luxor. The team had been searching for the lost tomb of Thutmose III when they stumbled upon a secret passageway leading to a series of underground chambers. One of the chambers contained a granite sarcophagus inscribed with the name Thutmose III. However, the archaeologists soon realized that the bones inside the coffin did not match those of the pharaoh. They then discovered another chamber containing a red granite sarcophagus with the name and cartouche of Hatshepsut. The discovery of Hatshepsut's tomb was a major archaeological event. It provided valuable insights into the life and death of one of Egypt's most powerful female rulers. The tomb itself was a marvel of ancient engineering, featuring intricate carvings and paintings that depicted scenes from Hatshepsut's life. The discovery also helped to shed light on the relationship between Hatshepsut and Thutmose III. Historians had long debated whether Thutmose III was the legitimate heir to Hatshepsut or if he had usurped the throne from his half-sister. The discovery of their tombs together suggested that they had a close relationship and that Thutmose III may have been groomed to rule as pharaoh. Thank you for watching. If you liked the video, don't forget to like and subscribe. See you in the next one.